Acolytes. Unhinged Knight made another one that I have time for. What's the difference between the Petite Waifu and the Loli? Is a Petite Waifu safe to smash? Well, Petite. Definitively. Well, there are real women that are petite, so why not that? Let's just see about this. This looks quite entertaining, to be honest. This looks funny, but okay, let's just...
Alright, so I found this post on TikTok, and it says, "Why do people defend this? Shaking my head. She literally looks like a child. That's weird. Welcome to the world of anime and manga. It's all weird. People really get online and say the dumbest stuff just for likes." Now, about the child issue, we can all agree that she is drawn very young looking. But obviously, that was done on purpose for the sake of storytelling, because this is a romance comedy, and the premise of a really short woman dating and talking to a really tall man is an interesting story. And of all the anime I've seen, this is quite normal, because honestly, it's very realistic. Viewer, you can say what you want.
He is correct about that. Yes, this is realistic. I bet with you that a lot of petite women or small women date the tallest effing guys. I barely see any exceptions for that. That's actually the rule.
We all know, short woman, really short woman, love really tall men. So this type of romance, for me at least, is very believable. Plus these two work together. And he's obviously made it look bigger on purpose. Basically, it's meant to make her look smaller. People gotta learn to accept the story for what it is sometimes, because that's really all anime and manga is, a story. If you don't like the story, don't buy the manga and don't watch the anime. It's that simple. And despite how she looks, she is not a child. And yes, like I said before, yes, I realize...
marital status... marital status married, 23. So...
she's drawn to look like that, or in other words, to look very young, but that's not the point. This is a Petite Waifu. Now, some people will also call this a Loli, but that's not what she is. This character is a 4 feet, 2 inches tall, 23-year-old woman. Now, let me cook for a second, because I've been researching this.
27 kilo? What the fuck?
Oh yeah, I've done the one thing that only half of the other black men in the world actually do, and that is read. The words burned at first, but I got used to it. So little black man, cover your ears, we're about to get educational. And yes, I do mean PBS Kids, Reading Rainbow type of educational. Now, I looked online and I found many different definitions for the word lolly. And I'm gonna show you all the ones I found just because. Now, I despise using Wikipedia, mostly because I really don't trust any of the sources up there. But I did just tell you, I'll show you other definitions I found. This is one of them. Now, it says here that lolicon is a genre of fictional media which focuses on young or young-looking girl characters, particularly in a sexually or suggestive erotic manner. Ugh, let's continue. I found this definition on Reddit, and despite being on this platform, the man does explain it very well. And he says there's no exact definition, but he has seen the following arguments being used to decide if a character is or isn't a loli, in basically all possible combinations. And it says here the character has to be underage, meaning 14, 15, or under 18, has to look like a child, has to behave like a child, and has to be flat. He also says historically, the term is derived from Vladimir, and I ain't even gonna say that last name. That is a weird, is that Russian?
Nabokovs, yeah. But I also think it's Russian. A Slavic language, nonetheless.
I don't know. Book Lolita, which gave Lolita complex or lolicon and in turn loli, but its meaning has known so many transformations that it's difficult to have a proper definition nowadays. Now I did look up this Vladimir guy's book, and yeah, I don't know who he is, but lock him up forever. We ain't about that life here. I ain't even joking anymore. Lock him up.
Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up.
I have to agree. I actually got this recommendation from a fan, and yeah, fair enough. But the fan actually told me to just explain where the thing came from, and that I can look up the book, but it's special.
On this site, it says in general, this term refers to young girls, usually underage ones, whose appearance is minor and childlike. It comes from the Japanese book Lolita, written by, the same guy we talked about before, Vladimir, whatever the hell his name is. Used to talk about girls who have not reached 18. In fact, many lolly girls are adults, as they have childlike look and dress lovely. Okay, now I'm a little bit concerned and confused. I'm gonna have to burn my laptop. Switch towns. Don't get it twisted, viewer. Night is no predator. So before we continue any further, I will have to say no diddy. Zip, zero. There's no baby oil here. Only fresh soap that will never drop. I'm serious though, I ain't about that life. And I only say this because I know someone out there is gonna see this video and immediately assume that I'm Diddy. What the hell? Oh, Diddy. Where's your baby oil at, Diddy? Ain't no Diddy over here. Who the hell said that? Diddy! You son of a... No
Fair enough.
real ones were lost in the beginning of this video. Now let's continue. To make what a lolly is clearer, I found a website that explains that there are 3 types of lollies. That's right, these creatures have different types like Pokemon. And just like Pokemon, I want to get rid of them all. You have to forgive me, but I do not like lollies. The whole idea of this makes me cringe. And personally, if I was going to make a short woman in an anime or a manga, I'll make her super thick or in certain areas to make her seem more woman-like. But that's just me. Anyway, true lolly.
I'm gonna be honest, I see it the exact same way.
12 years old. Teen lolly, 13 to 17 years old. And the legal lolly, 18 plus years old. Now to make this even clearer, I have found that not every lolly is solely an underage girl, although many underage girls can be considered real lollies. A lolly is typically more or less a young looking character. Now I know many people have different opinions about what this is, so just to make this clear, this video is not about the sexualization of any kind of child whatsoever. But obviously, and even some people do not realize this, there is a difference between a short woman and a child. Hey, shut up, Diddy. I will have you knew that you...
He's correct about it, by the way. So there's that. Yes, this is a freaking thematic that just goes on and on and on. And I don't even agree with my acolytes on every single step of this. I'm just gonna say it again. I do not care about a lolly character. The only problem that I have if a, let's just say in this case a CX with true lolly is sexualized. I don't like that. Or the teen thing. That's where I personally don't like that. But none of my business. Just saying this. As long as it's a drawing, nobody will be harmed. It's fine.
You piece of shit. My main point is that this cannot be considered a lolly. This is a petite waifu.
Correct.
The word is petite night. Yeah, petite tomato. Y'all know what I'm saying. Some words just sound differently in my head. Stop making excuses. You know your black ass can't read. You ain't gotta know how to read if you got a loaded gun on you at all time and you know how to shoot. Now, like I was saying, what is a petite waifu? Put simply, petite or petite just refers to a body type. And that
petite, potato. Fair enough. By the way, petite, I don't care. Perfectly fine.
Body type being small or short. And this Reddit user honestly said it best. He or she says, a petite or petite person will still look like an adult, and even in cases where they also look young, they're not actually going to look childish. Maybe high school or college age, but not child age. And this definition says the term refers to the character's small size or stature, often implying they are shorter than average or appear childlike. So, with that being said, would it be wrong to smash a petite waifu? Again, we're not talking about children, we're talking about short women.
Correctly.
And the only thing that I can see that's really stopping you is other people's bias. Now again, I admit, in anime, there are characters that are drawn in a way that are a little bit sus. But that's the artist's choice to draw like that. And I'm a man who likes to look at the logical side of things, the facts, and just all out the reality of it. And the reality is, there are plenty of women in this world that are short, or in other words, petite.
Corrected.
Now this character, and I forget her name, I'll probably say it later.
And the thing is, acolytes, I am a freaking magnet for short women. I don't effing know how this comes about, but if there is a short woman in the room, instantly sticks to me. I'm not even the tallest lich on the block. I'm more of a average tall lich. But hey, my shoulder is pretty bright, so maybe.
Is 4 feet 2 inches tall, like I said before. Now you may be saying to yourself right now, Knight, that's unrealistically short. There's no such thing in reality as a woman who's 4 feet 2 inches tall and looks childlike. Well, let's see if that's true.
My main concern with guys who are interested in Shauna is, I don't even want to say it.
Diddy! Hey, what the hell? I killed you!
Diddy.
Hey, you kind of think, why are you looking at my daughter? I mean, she looks 7. I mean, I know she's more mature as you speak to her, but for you to look at my child and go, hey, I'm gonna date that. I'm like, it's questionable. And the bad part is I probably have said that out loud, you know, so Shauna takes that with her too, a little bit. Do you think that you just want to like a dating life or?
No, I think I'm definitely more a relationship person.
Good luck with that.
Personally,
Yeah, I mean, this is an extreme case, but I sadly have to agree with the mother. This young woman, even though she is, well, old enough, this would be sus. No matter what. Even I am behind every petite woman, if you're that one, no problem. But this would be sus, definitively.
yes, I would say I'm looking for a long-term connection. I want to learn with someone. I want to grow with them.
You want to grow with somebody? Okay, I'll stop. I'll just be over here in the corner laughing at the irony of the situation. Hey, squad, this chick says she want to grow with somebody.
I don't want someone who doesn't want to grow or can't grow because their maturity is too low or something or whatever the case may be. So I am looking for more serious, more in-depth, long-lasting relationships.
Tragic. Just tragic. Now, that was Miss Shawn.
And by the way, I literally feel for her. That's not a choice. She will have a lot of problems finding that. I don't know if she already did, maybe, I don't know. But I feel for her. That's sad. I mean, it's always one thing if you decide to live a loner's life. That's none of my business. But if you are forced into any lifestyle, I always empathize with that.
Shauna Ray, and she has dwarfism. But unlike most people with dwarfism, she got it from a condition triggered during her childhood, and it stunted her growth. And she apparently stands at 3 feet 10 inches tall. Now that means that she is literally shorter than the character shown in this image here.
Yep.
This character is 4 feet 2 inches tall. Now Miss Ray's condition is a rare one, but my point still stands. Some women are really short. What could you even tell Miss Ray here? To not have a relationship? She's an adult. Now I can guarantee you she probably has some weird encounters like her mom just said, but she's still an adult at the end of the day. She can give consent. And of course, like I said before,
Correct,
there are
yes.
other short women who, you know, don't have dwarfism out there, who are just like around maybe 4'11", 5 feet tall, 5'1". My point is, in reality, it doesn't matter how they look. It only matters their age. And honestly, they shouldn't be treated like children just because of the way they look. Now, I haven't watched the anime, my senpai.
The thing is, I agree with him 100%, but reality is just different. People would look at this woman and be like, hey, I mean the real life woman, not the anime, and be like, what the fuck? Sus as fuck. Even though she is mature. I'm not saying it's correct. I'm not saying that I am a fan of it. I just say that's reality.
Is annoying, but the main character's name is Futaba Igarashi. And the plot basically focuses on her daily life, including her love life, and she has somewhat romantic feelings for the big guy here. But the main problem is, when they first met, he mistook her for a middle schooler on a field trip. He does not seem to see her as an adult, he sees her as a child. Now you get where I'm going with this. Despite how she looks, short women need love too. And I think it's unfair to call the author's work weird just because one female character looks young or looks like a child. When her looking like a child is kind of the whole point of the manga and the anime. It literally seems like it's meant to be controversial. I would honestly suggest if anyone has any negative opinions about this anime or manga that they would just sit down and turn on Crunchyroll and just watch it for themselves. Now personally, like I said before, I haven't watched it, but I have seen some clips. And compared to other anime, it's not really what I would consider weird at all. And I mean, let's be real here. You want to talk about weird things in anime? There's anime with... There's Yuri anime, which women apparently like for some reason. There's plenty of anime where the underage girl is sexualized. In the anime, plus in reality. Point is, anime is weird. All of it is. But you know what it also is? Fake. And no matter what kind of plot is going on that TV, you can always just turn the TV off and watch something else. Plus, anime has different genres. Every genre is not made for adults. And every weird and fan service thing you see in an anime is usually not made for you. Especially if it's in like a shonen or one anime that's geared towards like maybe a teen audience for like younger boys. It's not made for you. And this is something that just really annoys me. I don't like children being sexualized at all. But when I see it done in anime, and for instance, you can use this as an example, Dandadan, I can recognize immediately as an adult with cognitive thinking that this scene is not for me. I honestly think that some people just aren't real fans of anime.
I'm gonna be honest, if I see that, I cringe a bit, and I find it funny. I just find it freaking hilarious that it's drawn this way, in this ways where I just have to cringe, and this cringe, it's just like, just makes me cackle. That's all. I don't see it as a freaking, well, actual thing where a real person gets hurt.
Anime. Because I heard this online once. When Dun 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 first came out, people didn't like the weird stuff going on in Dun Dun Dun.
Yes.
You know, like the first couple of scenes. And you know, I agree, it was weird. But I'm an adult. I'm not watching Dun 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 for, and I don't even know the kid's name. Matter of fact, I don't know any of the kids' names in Dun Dun Dun. You know why I don't know the kids' names in Dun Dun Dun? Because I'm an adult. I don't give a damn about them kids. They ain't mine and they ain't real. I'm an adult watching Dun Dun Dun. I'm watching it for the grandma. I'm trying to see what type of time is she on. What is she doing? What is her story? All the children in that anime could die, and I would not give a damn. The grandma and the hot nurse are the only reason I watch the show. And I'm saying this to say, you can enjoy a weird anime without enjoying all the aspects of it. Everything in it is going to be for you. And Mushoku Tensei is another big example of this, because I hate Paul and Rudius. Matter of fact, I hate most of the characters in that show, and I think they're all weird and pervy. But you know what? I'll still watch it because it has great animation and great world building. And the story's pretty good too. And the Catwoman in that show is baddest. Alright, time to talk about the waifus. Hey, yo, what the hell? I killed you! Yeah, it's called plot armor, and I'm a thought in your head. You're a plot armor? Yep, but you don't. Oh, look! Anyway, first up, Tatsumaki from One Punch Man. Would you be morally wrong to smash or even date someone like her? Now, Tatsumaki, also known as the Tornado of Terror, is a 28-year-old human esper. She's an
By the way, if we had a Tatsumaki, he should probably kill half of us, so there's that.
class hero, which also means she's one of the strongest heroes in the verse, and her powers are psychokinesis and telepathy. And the most important thing for this conversation, her height is around 5 feet tall. Now, besides the fact that she does not dress like a child at all, and I mean really, she's basically just wearing a black cloth over, does she wear, I don't even know. I don't know. Every time I've seen her drawn, I'm basically just assuming she's wearing a black cloth and some shoes, and that's it. This woman apparently does not like to wear pants. My type of woman. Anyway, in the verse, her height is kind of seen as a joke. She's mistaken for a child a lot. And sometimes, depending on who draws her, she can appear more childlike. But also others who draw her make her appear more adult-like. And one of the biggest things about her that make her stand out as an adult is that she has a sister who looks a lot older than she does, that's only 23 years old, and her height is 5'5", and her name is Fubuki. And between these two characters, I'm not even sure who's sexualized more. All I know is that men in reality and men in the anime love Fubuki, but even she has addressed Tatsumaki as her older sister. And yes, they do seem to be related by blood. So all that being said, Tatsumaki is safe. Next waifu, Chila from Dragon Ball Super. Now her age is not stated, or in other words, I couldn't find her canon age anywhere. And her height is around 5 feet and 5'5". But now how she acts and her backstory basically proves she's an adult. In her backstory, she was apparently a soldier in the Frieza Force army, and she was apparently a thief. And during the Dragon Ball Super movie where she first appeared, I know there's people thirsting over this one scene of her.
Of course.
Oh, did I say one? Because I really meant multiple.
Damn, boy.
Damn, boy!
She's also heavily shipped online with Brawly, but I think they're just friends canonically. But he definitely has a shot. She probably gonna end up with Beerus though, not gonna lie. Anyway, next one, Rebecca from Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Now, even her creators have called her a loli, but does not mean she's a child. Remember, there is a such thing as a legal loli, which is just a petite waifu or a short woman. Or at least that's what Knight says, but that's because he's Diddy. No, I'm joking. Even her first scene basically proves that she's not a child. As you can see, in her first ever scene in Cyberpunk Edgerunners, she's in a bar holding a drink. Now, is it alcohol? Don't know, but a kid would not be in a bar holding any kind of drink whatsoever. And I know this is a futuristic.
I'm gonna let's just say I know the exception to this rule personally.
Type anime, but either way, this is definitely a bar, and if she was a child, she would not even be allowed in here. Not to mention, she's not even dressed like a child. She's wearing basically nothing under that jacket. Now let's see what she's about to do.
Hey, what the fuck? I'm so clumsy, sorry.
If you had any doubt in your mind that this woman was a child, Let this scene fully clarify that she is not. She's not only not a child, she's a little freak. Girl has definitely done this before. I mean, look at this bro's face. Man's having the time of his life right now. Man's in the clouds, in heaven. He don't know what hit him. He just know he happy. Damn girl did that to me. I'm ready. All right, Knight's still shot. You son of a, I'm gonna kill you. Shut up, Diddy. So I guess we end the video here. Leave your opinion in the comments and tell us what type of waifu you want us to do next. And also which petite waifus you want us to talk about next. And you guys have a good day. And also, no Diddy. You said it too late.
I love this thing.
It doesn't count. I will cover you in baby oil and super glue Diddy pictures to your head. You do not want to test the gangster of a black cat. Anyway, y'all have a lovely day. Bye.
Yeah, the thing is, I agree with his points. Simple as that. Of course, there will be always a bit of a disagreement no matter what, but all in all, I just think that the entire Loli thing is just overdone. I don't understand the hate. If you actually inform yourself about it, you can have your thinking about it and not agree with everything that does that. But that's just life. That's just how this freaking works. You won't agree on everything, but you still can, well, just agree to disagree. Simple as that. Live together in peace, not in war. Or serve me in undeath. That's also an option that I would prefer acolytes. So, as it is, good night.